Well, we are back answering your 211 questions with Heather Black, the director of 211, and Tracy McLemore, senior manager of the United Way of Greater Greensboro. Remember, you can text your questions to them. The number at the bottom of the screen, 336-379-5775. All right, this question is, do you know of any food banks that deliver food to people like me who can't get out?
So locally, there will be for seniors specifically, senior resources, Meals on Wheels. However, I apologize. However, just the calling into 211, you can ask for programs that do so, and you can be directed that way.
Okay. This person is asking, when I called 211 for rental assistance about 2 months ago, I was told some of the programs were out of funds and weren't offering rental assistance. Has this changed?
Yes, I have a great update on that. So just this week, Governor Cooper signed legislation that will bring another $546 million to the state program, and I think about another $150 million to local programs. I don't believe those programs have reopened intake yet, so don't start flooding the phones, but there is more help on the way. Continue to monitor our website, nc211.org, social media. I am sure channels like WFMY and other local news channels are going to be telling you, so just stay aware. And I do just want to remind you, there is an eviction moratorium in place through March 31st, so you cannot be evicted right now due to a failure to pay rent. We do have information on that as well on nc211.org. So you are protected, and there is relief coming for those who are unable to pay their rent right now.
All right, and in case you missed it, folks, we had experts from the city of Greensboro, Guilford County, Winston-Salem, Forsyth County on last night at this very same time talking about the rental assistance programs. Guilford County's is up and running. The other two are getting ready, but we have all of the information on our website so that you can check that out and see how you can get help. This person's asking, does 211 know anything about tax filings or like how to get help for tax preparation? Tracy?
Yes, locally, 211 will be a site to refer people for the volunteer tax assistance program, and they can tell you who's assisting individuals with taxes, where they can go, and what they'll need to bring with them.
Mm-hmm. And Heather, you're nodding in agreement, so that's like everywhere that you can find that, yes?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yes, wherever that program's in existence, we will have the information.
This person is asking, I have some questions about trying to find an attorney to help me. Does 211 have ways to help me with that?
We do have legal resources. I will tell you the primary legal resource here in North Carolina is Legal Aid of North Carolina. They're a fantastic partner of us at NC211. They, like many social service agencies, are very overwhelmed right now, but legalaidnc.org is a fantastic resource, and that would be a great starting place, but you can also call us at 211.
Mm-hmm. This next question asked, is there a moratorium for utility bills that are due?
Not that I am aware of. I believe utility companies are working with folks, hopefully not disconnecting, especially during these cold months. There is information again on nc211.org about utility shutoffs, and I would just really encourage folks to call and talk to their utility companies, do everything you can to work out a payment plan to prevent a shutoff.
Okay. This next text question is, I haven't had much luck finding work. Can your folks direct me to the right place? And I don't know if there's a different answer here. Tracy, specifically for the greater Greensboro area, and then Heather, whenever anyone calls 211.
Most likely they'll be referred to workforce development and other work development programs. And so 211 still is the number to call. And depending on a particular criteria that you may meet, you may determine better where you're referred to. The call specialists are excellent. They do a great job of doing intake and really finding out what your needs are, what your support systems may be to make the most appropriate referral.
I would echo what Tracy said, and I think the other piece is that our team has done a great job of keeping updated with any changes that agencies have because of COVID. So, for example, NC Works is a great program statewide, but perhaps because of COVID and social distancing, they've changed their process. So if you call us at 211, we'll be able to tell you how you can access their services now that may be a little different than it was in the past.
Mm-hmm. Especially since so many of them are doing like the virtual job fairs and the virtual interviews and all of that kind of thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very different.
This next question is, if I need help with finding assistance to cover bills, where can I find help? And of course, the first call is 211.
Right.
Yeah. Call us at 211 because there are agencies, again, there's just such a need right now and there are limits to resources, but there are agencies providing financial assistance. We can direct you to those. Tracy, I don't know if you know of any local ones off the top of your head that are doing it here in Greensboro.
Well, it really depends on what people are looking for. During this pandemic, there have been a lot of additional resources added because people are trying to meet the need. And so for the most part, if you're calling 211, they can kind of still do the intermediary work to find out, what your resources might be to still connect you to who may be providing resources. In terms of programs, keeping their information up to date is really helpful because just as Heather mentioned, services change and funds availability change, and that's kept up to date as well.
Mm-hmm. And so like when you do call 211 and you say, I need some rent help, kind of what is the progression of the call?
Sure, that's a great question. So not only are we going to just give you the name and the phone number of an agency, we're going to tell you things like, where they're located, of course, what are their hours of operation, what kind of eligibility requirements do they have, are there certain documents that you need to have with you, do they speak multiple languages, are they, do they have additional help for veterans or persons with disabilities or people of a certain age. So we have all of that information, and that's why a call specialist can really help find the right fit for you, and that's why they ask you a lot of questions when you call, is to make sure that they do find that perfect resource to match you up with in your community and to meet that need that you're presenting with.
Yeah, which is really helpful so that you're not calling 15 different places, you're calling the ones that really can actually help you with what your eligibility requirements are. Okay, we're going to continue to take your questions. We've got one last segment coming up. We'll be right back.